Anna! 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 Everyone cheered for me as I stood in place, ready to defend my title. I know what you're thinking, that I was standing at the starting line of a major race at the Olympics or something fancy like that. I wasn't. We were at the annual cake eating competition at our school, and I was the reigning champion. 3, 2, 1, begin! I dove face first into the cake as the crowd went wild. I'd starved myself all day for just this moment. I took large bites of the delicious cake and didn't even bother chewing. I swallowed them whole, coming close to choking a few times. Soon, the wild cheers turned into laughter and boos.
Oink, oink!
Was that my best friend Kyla?
Oh my God, Jason, your girlfriend is a pig!
Why would Kyla say such a thing? She was my best friend since kindergarten and had never teased me about my weight. I looked over to where she was with my boyfriend Jason standing next to her. They were both laughing and pointing to my face, now covered in cake. I quickly wiped most of it and ran off the stage, defending my trophy was no longer important. Before I continue with my story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. I ran to the girls' bathroom and was about to wash my face when someone walked in. I looked up and saw my face in the mirror. Tears streamed down my face, mixing with chunks of cake that were still stuck mostly around my mouth. You look disgusting. Mom, not another word from you. Fix yourself now. I could tell that Mom was about to explode by how fast she drove us home. You see, Mom hated that I was fat. She never failed to remind me that I needed to lose weight. If it was up to her, I'd stop eating altogether. At home, I found pizza on the kitchen table and thought, this must be my lucky day. I hadn't gotten the chance to finish the cake at the competition, so I was basically starving. I grabbed a slice and didn't even bother to warm it. I heard Mom's high heels click on our dining room floor, and I knew what was coming next. She was going to yank the pizza right out of my hands, so I stuffed the whole slice into my mouth. She clutched her chest like she was having a heart attack. You filthy child! Even pigs have better manners than you. That was the second time I've been compared to a pig that day. So not cool. Careful, Mom, I'm your daughter, so if I'm a pig, well, you see where I'm going with this. I chewed noisily in her face. You're going to pay for that slice of pizza and that cake. Get on the floor now. Give me 100 sit-ups. I knew not to push my luck by crossing her any further, so I did as she asked. By the time I got to bed, I slumped face down and realized just how much I missed my dad. I never saw him much, even though he lived a few minutes away. Mom and Dad got divorced when I was 10 years old. I stared at my bedroom wall. Framed high school photos of Mom stared back at me, judging me. She'd hang the photos in every room of our house. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Mom was obsessed with herself. When I'd asked her why she didn't put up any photos of me, she'd said that I was too heavy to be displayed on her walls. It was Wednesday, and at school, that meant one thing: burgers for lunch. Mom had made me eat baby carrots for breakfast, so by lunchtime, I was desperate for those greasy burgers. They served them hot, crunchy, and golden brown with the most delicious fries and a side of vegetables. Yeah, I wasn't planning on touching a single veggie on my plate. I already had enough of that at home. I was about to take my first bite when Mom walked in, a murderous look on her face. Don't you dare put that in your mouth. She flipped my tray, sending all my food flying everywhere. The whole cafeteria went quiet as curious eyes turned to the scene Mom was making. I watched in horror as she took out a weighing scale from her bag and demanded that I step on it. Now, Anna. Mom, please don't do this here. You're embarrassing me. Me embarrassing you? Have you looked in the mirror lately? She grabbed me and pulled me up to step on the scale. Do you honestly think I wouldn't notice you gained even more weight? Before I could answer, she turned to the cafeteria staff and yelled at them for feeding me too much garbage. I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran out of the cafeteria crying. I didn't go to school for a whole week because of how humiliated I was. When I did go back, Kyla and her mean girl crusade made fun of me and called me names. They set traps for me and laughed when I tripped and fell on my butt. Jason stopped talking to me altogether. I tried to hang out with him, but he called me a fatty and broke up with me in front of the entire class. I was heartbroken and stressed out, so I skipped classes and went home. I was just about to open the door when I heard Mom on the phone. "Hello, Kyla. Thank you so much for torturing Anna like I paid you to. Anna needed to be taught a lesson. Maybe now she'll stop eating everything in her path. I am sorry you have to be friends with her." My heart dropped. Mom was paying Kyla to be mean? That probably meant she was paying Jason too. I was devastated. The people I loved the most were working together to humiliate me. I wanted to go in there and give Mom an earful, but I knew it would be useless. So I dropped my bag at the doorstep and ran back to school to comfort Kyla. She was in class, but I didn't care. I burst in, alarming everyone, including Mr. Jude, our math teacher. "Kyla, how could you do this to me?" I approached her desk as everyone stared. Kyla did not say anything, and instead, she looked at her annoying friends and they started laughing. "How could you gang up with my mom against me? I trusted you." Mr. Jude was getting tired of the scene and he demanded that I get out, or he would drag me to the principal's office. "I'm not leaving until she explains herself." I overheard Mom talk to her on the phone. Everyone was looking at Kyla. She rolled her eyes.
Geez, relax. Your psycho mom paid me to be mean to you.
Kyla reached into her bag and took out a brand new iPhone. "You threw away our friendship for an iPhone? At least tell me it's the newest model."
Don't judge me. Jason got one too.
Jason sank down in his chair, like he wanted to disappear inside it. "I hate both of you." At the school gate, I spotted a dark SUV driving slowly towards me. I turned to run back into the school when one of the car doors opened and someone grabbed me. They covered my face before I could scream and shoved a bag over my head. I fought and clawed at my attacker, but it was like hitting a brick wall. Whoever they were massive. They tied my hands together and threw me into the dark SUV. Just then, I heard footsteps and my mother's voice. I was relieved because I knew I was safe at last. "Mom, help!" "Anna, you need to cooperate with them." What? What was going on? "You can take her now," I heard Mom say. "Mom, no! Please help me!" She didn't answer me. The van drove away and I sobbed continuously, begging my kidnapper to let me go. A long, bumpy ride later, the van stopped and I was dragged outside. Someone removed the bag from my head and untied me. I looked around and saw that we were standing in front of a huge mansion in the middle of a thick forest. The mansion doors opened and a man in a white suit walked towards us. I was terrified and started to step back, but he called out my name. I knew that voice. Uncle Lex? I had not seen him since I was 7 years old when he used to come to dinner at our house. I wasn't sure how he was related to Mom or Dad, but Mom told me to call him Uncle Lex. He took my hand and forced me to walk with him into the mansion. I could imagine the posters now. Missing girl. Name, Anna Marie Burton. Age 17 years old. Last seen fighting for her right to eat burgers. The mansion looked like a medical facility. There were men and women walking in and out of rooms, dressed in white lab coats. Before and after photos were plastered on every wall I could see, and the weight difference was clearly visible. Where are we? Not my Uncle Lex didn't answer me. Instead, he beckoned one of the lab coat people to join us. I was about to turn away from the extreme makeover photos when one caught my attention. Oh my God, is that Mom? Lex nodded before walking away. I couldn't believe the chubby girl in the photo was Mom.
You're a very lucky girl,
one of my lab coat people said as she took my measurements and weight. Excuse me? My mom had me kidnapped and brought here against my will. How's that lucky?
We're about to give you a new body. A lot of people desire that.
What's wrong with my current one? The woman, her name tag said she was Frida, laughed.
Take your clothes off and put this on.
She handed me a hospital gown. No! I pushed past her and ran right into the massive dude who was standing in the doorway, his arms crossed and a scowl on his face. He grabbed me with only one hand and lifted me so easily like I weighed nothing. Let me go! I scratched his face, but he did not budge. Suddenly, I heard a loud crash. The man screamed in pain as a wooden chair landed on his back. He released me and I landed on the floor. He turned to face his attacker and another chair landed on him. Anna, get up! I couldn't believe it. My dad was standing right there. He held his hand out to me and we ran out of the mansion with the other guy hot on our heels. A few meters ahead, a car was parked with its door open.
Quick, get in!
Kyla, how did you… We need to go, now. Drive, Kyla. The guards dived for the car door, but they were too late. Dad swung it shut as Kyla drove us out of there. An hour later, we arrived at Dad's house. I'm so sorry for everything, Anna. I had no idea how crazy your mom had become. Thank God Kyla called me.
I felt bad after our fight in class, so I ran after you to apologize. That's when I saw them take you, and I called your dad right away.
Thanks for getting me out of there. What was that place anyway? It's some kind of weight loss science lab. Lex owns it. I saw Mom's photo there. She was among his first patients. Years ago, he came to our high school and recruited all the girls who wanted to lose weight. He promised them a new body in a matter of days. No one knows what he does there or how he does it. Your mom never revealed the secret. I don't want to live with her anymore, Dad. Don't worry. I won't let her take you. I tearfully hugged him, relieved that my nightmare was over. After I was well rested, Dad and I went back home to pick my stuff. We were not prepared for what we found. Mom was frantic and hysterical. She looked possessed. She was throwing out empty bottles from her medicine cabinet, screaming that she needed more. She started to pull out her hair, and when she saw me, she charged at me, screaming that it was all my fault. Dad held her back and asked me to call 911. Mom was diagnosed with the crazies and was admitted to a psych ward. Turns out, Lex had been supplying her with slimming pills worth thousands of dollars for years. She owed him a lot of money, and when he demanded she pay him, she offered me to him and his lab. I wonder what kind of experiments Lex was planning to do on me. Dad and I visited Mom every week at the hospital. She gained a lot of weight and barely spoke to anyone. All she did was stare blankly at the walls and the ceiling. As for me, I moved in with my dad, who told me that I was beautiful just as I was. And he's right. Be confident in your own skin. Love yourself. Don't listen to the haters.